I won $333 million in the lottery. After years of being treated like a burden, I tested my family. I called, saying I needed money for medication. My son blocked me. My daughter didn't care. But my 20-year-old grandson drove 400 miles with his last $500. What I did next changed everything. When my son Marcus hung up on me at 3:47 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon, I was holding a lottery ticket worth $333 million in my other hand. Dad, figure it out yourself. I'm busy. The line went dead. I sat in my living room, the same house where I'd raised him, where I'd bandaged his scraped knees and stayed up helping with college applications, and stared at my phone. Marcus had just failed the biggest test of his life. He didn't know it yet. My name is Robert Hayes. I'm 67 years old. 3 weeks earlier, I'd walked into a 7-Eleven on Brookshire Avenue at 11:23 p.m. to buy milk and walked out with a Mega Millions ticket. I didn't check the numbers until 4 days later. When I did, my hands shook so badly I had to check 3 times. All 6 numbers matched. $333 million, lump sum payout, $197 million after taxes. I didn't tell anyone. Not Marcus, not my daughter Nina, not a single person. Instead, I called Gregory Walsh, an attorney I'd known for 35 years. Greg had handled my wife's estate when she died 8 years ago, helped with my will, represented me in a property dispute. He was 62, practiced law for 37 years, and had never once bullshitted me. Greg, I need to meet you. Today. It's urgent. We met at his office at 2 p.m. I showed him the ticket. He went pale, actually pale. Jesus Christ, Robert. I haven't claimed it yet. Why not? Because I want to do this right. I want to protect the money. I want to set up trusts. I want to make sure my family can't touch it unless I decide they should. Greg leaned back in his leather chair. You don't trust them. I don't know yet. What do you mean? I mean, I'm going to find out. Let me back up. I'd been a father for 42 years. Marcus was born when I was 25. Nina came 3 years later. I worked at Ford Motor Company for 37 years, assembly line, then floor supervisor, then plant manager, 60-hour weeks, double shifts. Whatever it took to give them opportunities I never had. My wife Ann died when Marcus was 34 and Nina was 31. Breast cancer. Fast and brutal. 6 months from diagnosis to funeral. After she died, something shifted. Marcus and Nina started calling less, visiting less. I told myself they were busy, Marcus with his consulting firm, Nina with her real estate business. They had their own lives. But then, the requests started. First it was Marcus. Dad, I'm in a bind. The business has some cash flow issues. Can you loan me $20,000 until we close this deal? I gave it to him. Never asked for it back. 3 months later, Dad, I made some bad investments. I'm maxed out on credit cards. If Lisa finds out, she'll kill me. Can you help? Just $40,000. I'll pay you back. I paid off his credit cards. He never mentioned it again. Nina was worse. Called crying about her mortgage being 3 months late, about her car breaking down and needing a new transmission, about her daughter's private school tuition. Every time, I helped. Dipped into retirement savings, sold bonds, cashed out a small life insurance policy. I never told them how much it cost me, never made them feel bad about it, because that's what fathers do. You sacrifice, you provide, you don't keep score. Except they were keeping score, just not the way I thought. 2 months before I won the lottery, I called Marcus on his birthday, got his voicemail, left a message, never heard back. I called again 3 days later. Hey son, just checking in. Haven't heard from you in a while. He texted back, busy with work, will call when I can. He never did. I drove to his house in Bloomfield Hills, 45 minutes from my place, unannounced, rang the doorbell. His wife Lisa answered. Oh Robert, hi. She didn't smile, didn't invite me in. Is Marcus home? He's working. Can I come in for a minute? We're actually about to head out. Maybe call first next time. The door closed. I stood there on his porch, the porch of a house I'd helped with the down payment for, feeling like a door-to-door salesman who'd been dismissed. Nina was different but the same. She'd call me when she needed something but would cancel plans at the last minute. Forget my birthday, skip holidays with vague excuses about being overwhelmed. Last Thanksgiving, I cooked for 12 hours. Turkey, stuffing, 3 kinds of pie, set the table for 3. Marcus texted at 11 a.m. Sorry Dad, Lisa's family insisted we come to their place, next year for sure. Nina called at 2 p.m. Dad, I'm so exhausted. Can we reschedule? I ate dinner alone, froze the leftovers, threw most of them away a month later. That's when I started noticing a pattern. I was their ATM, their safety net, their last resort. But I wasn't their father, not in any way that mattered. When I won the lottery, my first thought wasn't celebration. It was curiosity. If I really had nothing, if I was broke, desperate, in genuine need, would they help me? Or would I just be an inconvenience? Greg helped me structure everything, created an irrevocable trust, claimed the winnings through the trust, set up accounts they couldn't trace, filed all the paperwork with the State Lottery Commission under the trust's name, not mine. You're absolutely sure about this? Greg asked as we finalized everything. I need to know who they are. And if they fail your test, then I'll know that too. We claimed the winnings on a Friday. The check cleared Monday. By Tuesday afternoon, I had $197 million sitting in investment accounts managed by Whitmore Financial Group, a firm Greg recommended, run by Sandra Whitmore, a fiduciary advisor with 26 years of experience. Your children don't know about this? Sandra asked during our first meeting. No. May I ask why? Because I'm about to find out if they deserve to. She nodded slowly. I've seen this before. Sudden wealth, family dynamics shift. People you thought you knew become strangers. What usually happens depends on the family, but in my experience, money doesn't change people. It just reveals who they always were. I ran the test on a Tuesday. Called Marcus first at 3:30 p.m. He answered on the fourth ring. Dad? What's up? I'm in a meeting. Marcus, I need to ask you something. I'm in trouble. What kind of trouble? I can't afford my heart medication this month. My prescription ran out and I don't have the money to refill it until my Social Security comes through. Can you help me with $200? Just until the 15th? Silence. Then, Dad, I can't keep enabling this behavior. That tone, like I was a teenager asking for beer money. Enabling what behavior? This constant need for financial help. You need to learn to budget better. You're on a fixed income. You need to live within your means. Marcus, it's my heart medication. I need it to live. Have you tried calling the pharmaceutical company? They have assistance programs. Or go to the ER. They can't turn you away. I'm asking my son for $200, and I'm telling you I can't. Lisa and I have expenses. Private school for the kids. The boat payment. We're stretched thin. The boat. The 35-foot boat I'd watched him buy last summer. The boat loan I'd helped him qualify for by paying off his credit cards. You have a boat, but you can't help your father with medication. That's not fair, Dad. Look, Nina and I have been talking. You're getting older. You're having these issues. Maybe it's time to consider assisted living. They handle medications, meals, everything. You wouldn't have to worry. Assisted living. They wanted to warehouse me. Marcus, I'm actually going to block your number for a while. Nina thinks we're being too soft. She says sometimes tough love is what people need to finally make changes. I think she's right. You're blocking me? Just for a month or so. Give you time to figure things out. I've got to go. Meeting's starting. The line went dead. I sat there, numb. My son had blocked me, rather than give me $200. I looked at my phone, at the bank app, showing $197 million in assets. Then I called Nina. Nina answered on the second ring. Dad, this isn't a good time. Nina, I need help. With what? I can't afford my heart medication. I need $200 until my Social Security. She laughed. Actually, laughed. Are you serious right now? Yes. I'm asking for help. Dad, I saw your Facebook post yesterday. You were at Starbucks. You posted a picture of a latte. If you can afford Starbucks, you can afford your pills. That was a small coffee. $2. $2 adds up. You know what your problem is? You don't track your spending. You make these little purchases and wonder why you're broke. That's not my problem. I'm asking my daughter for help with medication. I need to live. And I'm telling you I can't help you. I have a mortgage. I have car payments. I have Melissa's tuition. You think I'm made of money? I'm not asking for much. It's never just once with you, Dad. It's always something. You need to get your finances together. Maybe sell the house. Downsize. I've got to go. Showings all afternoon. Click. She hung up. I sat there with my phone in my hand, watching the screen fade to black. 2 calls. 2 rejections. I had 1 call left. My grandson Tyler was 20 years old. Marcus's kid. He went to Wayne State University, studying engineering. Lived in a small apartment near campus. Worked part-time at a bookstore, Chapter House on Woodward Avenue, making maybe $12 an hour. We'd always been close. Even after Marcus started pulling away, Tyler would call me, come over for Sunday dinners, actually listen when I talk. Last time I saw him, 3 weeks ago, he'd mentioned his car was dying, transmission's going. Mechanic says it'll cost more to fix than the car's worth. What are you going to do? Keep driving it until it dies, I guess. Can't afford anything else. Now I was about to call and ask him for money he definitely didn't have. My hand shook as I dialed. He answered immediately. Grandpa, hey, what's up? Just hearing his voice, genuinely happy to hear from me, made my throat tight. Tyler, I need to ask you something. I'm in a difficult spot. What's wrong? Are you okay? I can't afford my heart medication this month. I need about $200 until my Social Security check comes. I know you're tight on money, so if you can't, how much do you need exactly? No hesitation, no lecture, just how much? 200. But Tyler, I know you're working your way through school. If you don't have it, I've got about 500 in my checking account. I can Venmo it right now. Do you need more? I can pick up extra shifts. $500. Probably everything he had until his next paycheck. Tyler, I can't take your money. Grandpa, stop. You've never asked me for anything. Not once. Ever. When my car broke down last year, you gave me rides for 3 months. When I couldn't afford textbooks, you bought them. You don't ask for help. So if you're asking now, it's serious. I'm sending the money right now. I heard tapping him, typing on his phone. I sent 500. Is that enough? Do you need me to drive down? I can leave right now. Are you okay? Should I call someone? My eyes were burning. Tyler, I'm okay. The money helps. I can't tell you what this means. You don't have to. You're my grandpa. I love you. We hung up. I sat in my living room and cried for the first time since Anne's funeral. That weekend, I bought Tyler a car. Called Honda of Detroit. Asked for the sales manager. I want to buy a car. car? Cash. I need it delivered to an address in Ann Arbor by Saturday morning. What kind of car? Honda Civic, new, 2023, silver, loaded with every safety feature you have, whatever that costs. That's about $28,000, sir. Done. Here's the delivery address. Saturday morning at 9 a.m., I called Tyler. Hey, can you come by the house this afternoon? I need help with something. Sure, I'll leave in an hour. He pulled up in his dying Nissan at 11:30 a.m. I was standing in the driveway. Behind me, covered with a tarp, was the Civic. What's under the tarp? He asked, walking up. Come see. I pulled the tarp off. Tyler stopped, stared. Grandpa, whose car is that? Yours. What? Title's in your name. Insurance is paid for a year. It's yours. He just stood there, looking between me and the car. I can't accept this. Yes, you can. You gave me $500 when I needed it, when you had nothing, when your own father wouldn't even talk to me. This is what that meant to me. He was crying now. Grandpa, this is too much. It's not enough, but it's a start. He hugged me. Actually hugged me. Not the obligatory holiday hug, but the kind that means something. I love you, he said. I love you too, kid. Sunday afternoon I got a call from Marcus. Dad, we need to talk. Nina and I are coming over. They arrived at 2 p.m. Marcus's black Audi, Nina's white Mercedes, both of them dressed like they were going to a country club. They walked in without knocking, saw Tyler in the driveway, washing his new car with a huge smile. Whose car is that? Nina demanded. Mine, Tyler called out, waving. Grandpa bought it for me. Marcus's face went from confused to red in about 3 seconds. Dad, kitchen. Now, we sat around my kitchen table, the same table where I'd fed them for 30 years, where I'd helped with homework and listened to teenage drama and tried to teach them to be decent human beings. Where did you get money for a car? Marcus said. His voice was tight, controlled, the voice he used in business meetings. I had some savings. Bullshit. Nina leaned forward. Last week you were begging us for medication money. This week you're buying cars? What's going on? Was I begging? I kept my voice calm. I thought I was asking my children for help. Don't play games, Marcus snapped. How much did that car cost? 25,000? 30? Where did that money come from? I looked at him, at the Rolex on his wrist, at Nina's designer purse sitting on my table. I decided not to buy my heart medication. Cars for loving grandsons seemed more important. The color drained from Nina's face. You what? You heard me. That's insane, Nina gasped. You can't just stop taking your pills. Oh, now you care about my health. Dad, this isn't funny, Marcus said. If you're having some kind of episode, we need to talk about getting you help. Episode. That's a nice word for it. I'm serious. This behavior doesn't make sense. You're either lying about being broke or you're having a breakdown. I stood up, walked to the living room, came back with a folder, slid it across the table. Let's talk about money, I said. Marcus opened it. Inside were bank statements, loan records, printouts I'd had Greg prepare. March 2022, I said. Marcus, you asked me for $20,000. Business cash flow problems. Remember? His face went white. I took it out of my retirement savings. You said you'd pay me back. You never did. Dad, July 2022. You needed $40,000 to cover credit card debt. I sold bonds. Anne left me. You said thank you once and never mentioned it again. I turned to Nina. Nina, your mortgage, 3 months behind. I gave you $18,000. You cried. Said I saved your life. That was 15 months ago. You've called me twice since then. Both times. To ask for more money. That's not fair, she whispered. Your car transmission, $4,000. Melissa's tuition, $8,000. Your property tax bill, $6,500. I laid out the statements. Every transaction, every transfer, every check. Do you know how much I've given you both in the last 3 years? They didn't answer. $147,000. Not loans, gifts, because you never paid any of it back. The kitchen was silent. And when I called you, when I asked for $200 for medication, I need to live, you blocked me, Marcus. You laughed at me, Nina. Tyler appeared in the doorway. He'd been listening. His face was pale. You guys have been taking money from Grandpa, he said quietly. For years? That's different, Nina said. We're his children, and I'm his grandson. He called me for help. I gave him every dollar I had. What did you give him? A lecture, I said, about budgeting, about tough love, about assisted living. Dad, if we'd known, Marcus started. If you'd known what? That I actually needed help, that I wasn't just being dramatic. You thought nothing. You didn't think about me at all. I pulled another document from the folder, handed it to Marcus. What is this? He asked. A test, I said. Tyler, ask them the question. Tyler looked at me, then at his father and aunt. If Grandpa really couldn't afford his medication, he said slowly. If he was really in trouble right now, would you help him? Silence. The hesitation. That's all I needed to see. That's what I thought, I said. I walked to the kitchen drawer, pulled out an envelope, handed it to Tyler. Open it. He pulled out a lottery ticket, looked at it, then pulled out his phone. I watched his face go pale, watched his hands start shaking. Grandpa, he whispered, this is the winning Mega Millions ticket from 3 weeks ago. $333 million. Marcus lunged for it. Tyler pulled back, holding it against his chest. Already claimed, I said calmly, sitting in trusts and investment accounts, with Gregory Walsh as executor, all legal, all protected. I turned to Marcus and Nina. If you'd helped me, if you'd shown even a small amount of kindness, I would have shared everything everything. Set up trusts for you, for your kids, made sure you never worried about money again. Nina's face crumpled. Dad, please, but you didn't help me. You blocked me. You laughed. You told me to figure it out myself. We didn't know. Marcus was standing now, his voice desperate. How were we supposed to know? You weren't. That was the point. I needed to know who you were when I had nothing, when helping me would cost you something. This isn't fair. Nina was crying now. You tricked us. No, I tested you, and you failed. Marcus grabbed my arm. Dad, please, we made a mistake. We can fix this. Just give us another chance. I pulled my arm away. I gave you chances. For 3 years. Every time you asked for money and I gave it without hesitation. Every time you skipped holidays or forgot birthdays or treated me like an inconvenience. Those were all chances. I picked up my phone, pulled up an email from Greg, showed it to them. This morning, Gregory Walsh purchased certain debts on my behalf. Your boat loan, Marcus. Nina's credit cards. Her second mortgage. Your car payment. I own them now. What? Marcus whispered. I'm your creditor. 24% interest. Industry standard. Full balance due in 30 days. 30 days? Nina screamed. We don't have that kind of money. I know. That's the point. What do you want from us? Marcus's voice was shaking now. I want you to understand what it feels like to need help and have nowhere to turn. You can't do this. Nina was on her feet. We're your children. And I'm your father. The father you discarded the moment I wasn't useful anymore. If we can't pay, Marcus couldn't finish the sentence. Then I seize collateral. The boat, your cars, whatever the contracts allow. I have excellent lawyers now. Gregory Walsh and his entire firm. They'll keep you in court until you're destitute if that's what it takes. Why are you doing this? Nina sobbed. Because you need to learn what I learned. That the people who are supposed to love you aren't always the ones who do. I turned to Tyler, put my hand on his shoulder. Your tuition is covered. Undergraduate and graduate school. Full ride, housing, books, everything. Tyler was crying now too. Grandpa, you chose to help me when it cost you everything you had. That's worth more than any amount of money. Marcus and Nina stood there, watching their inheritance disappear, watching it go to Tyler instead. Please, Marcus begged. Dad, please, we're sorry. We'll do better. You'll what? Pretend to love me because I'm rich now? Visit me because you have to, instead of because you want to? That's not fair, Nina shouted. You're right. It's not fair, but it's honest. And that's more than I got from either of you. They left 20 minutes later. No goodbye. No apology that mattered. Tyler stayed. Grandpa, he said quietly, did you really need that medication? No, I'm healthy. The test was fake. But the money you gave us that was real? Every dollar. Because when someone you love needs help, you help them. No questions. No conditions. What are you going to do with all that money? I'm going to live my life, travel, do things your grandmother and I never got to do, and I'm going to make sure you never have to worry about student loans or starting out broke like I did. They're going to come back, he said, when they realize you're serious. I know. That's why Greg already has restraining orders prepared. This is insane. It's necessary. They need to understand there are consequences, that I'm not a bank. I'm their father, and fathers deserve respect. Tyler hugged me again. I'm sorry they're like this. Don't apologize for them. You're nothing like them. 2 days later, Marcus showed up at my door. I didn't let him in. Dad, I need to talk to you. No, please. 5 minutes. You blocked my number, remember? Tough love. To help me learn. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Can we please just talk? About what? About how you need money? About how you'll promise to change if I just give you another chance? He looked at the ground. Lisa left me. That surprised me. What? She found out about the debt, about the boat being repossessed. She's filing for divorce, taking the kids. I should have felt something. Sympathy, regret, something. I felt nothing. I'm sorry to hear that. That's it? That's all you have to say? What do you want me to say, Marcus? I want you to help me. I'm your son. Now I'm your father. When you needed $200 for me, I was an inconvenience. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Now you're living with it. So that's it? You're just gonna cut me off? After everything? After everything? I laughed, a bitter sound. Marcus, I gave you everything. My time, my money, my pride, and you gave me nothing when I actually needed you. I don't even recognize you anymore. Good, because the man you knew was a doormat. This man has self-respect. I closed the door. 3 months later, I was sitting on a beach in Hawaii. Tyler had spring break. I flew him out, first class. We stayed at the Four Seasons, went snorkeling, ate at restaurants where the menu didn't have prices. This is insane, Grandpa, he said one night over dinner. I'm eating $100 steak. Get used to it. When I die, everything goes to you. The whole trust. I don't want to think about that. Well, I need you to know. Gregory has all the paperwork. The trust is ironclad. Marcus and Nina can't contest it. I made sure. Have they tried? Marcus hired a lawyer. Lasted 2 weeks before he couldn't afford the retainer. Nina sent emails. I have them blocked. Do you miss them? I thought about that. Really thought about it. I miss who I thought they were. I don't miss who they actually are. That's sad. No, it's freeing. I spent years making excuses for them, telling myself they were busy or stressed or going through something. Now I know the truth. They didn't love me. They loved what I could give them. I love you, Tyler said. I know you do. That's why you're here. 6 months after the test, Nina showed up at my house. She looked terrible. Thin, dark circles under her eyes, driving a 10-year-old Honda instead of her Mercedes. Dad, can we talk? No. No, please, I'm begging you. I lost everything. My house, my business, my marriage. Doug left me. I'm living with a friend. I work at Target. I stock shelves. I need help. Miller's Diner is hiring dishwashers, I said. The grocery store needs overnight stockers. I worked those jobs for 20 years to raise you. Your turn. You can't be serious. I've never been more serious. I'm your daughter, and I'm your father. The father you laughed at when he needed medication. I didn't know you had all that money. Exactly. You didn't know. So you showed me who you really are. Someone who only cares when there's something in it for them. I'm sorry. I'm really, truly sorry. I believe you're sorry you failed the test. I don't believe you're sorry for who you are. What do I have to do? What can I do to fix this? Nothing. There's nothing you can do. You can't unfail a test. You can't unblock a phone call. You can't unlaugh at your father's pain. She broke down, sobbing on my porch. I closed the door. 1 year after I won the lottery, I got a call from Greg Walsh. Robert, I have some news. Marcus filed for bankruptcy. Chapter 7. Total discharge. Good. You don't want to know the details? Not particularly. And Nina, she's struggling. Lost custody of Melissa. Courts awarded custody to Doug. She gets supervised visitation. That's between her and the courts. You don't feel anything? I feel sad that my children turned out to be people I don't respect, but I don't feel guilty. I gave them every opportunity to be decent. They chose otherwise. And Tyler? Thriving. Made Dean's List. Has a summer internship at an engineering firm. Good kid. You did right by him. I did right by all of them. Only one appreciated it.